Hi, welcome to this little mini Pranayama workshop, the second one of the series. So I'm going to look today at Ujjayi Breath. Maybe it's something that you've heard of. It's mentioned quite a lot in yoga classes and sometimes not really explained how to do it. So hopefully this video will give you an idea of how to do the breath, or at least start to begin to explore it, see how it feels for you in your body, and then option to start to include it in your practices if that feels good. So Ujjayi breath it's a warming breath, so kind of the opposite of lion's breath, the one that we did before. So really good for active practices, for flows, for vinyasa, that kind of thing. So this will be great for your energizing flows, flow and go, flow quickie. Maybe even if you want to start bringing it into your gentle flow classes, you're welcome to on some of the more active parts. So it's to warm up the body and get it kind of energized and ready for practice. So that's what this breath is for. So I think the easiest way to learn this breath is maybe to start off initially with your eyes closed, because it just helps to take away any distractions that are going on and just focus on what your body's doing. So if that feels comfortable, you can bring the eyes to close. And then starting by inhaling through the nose, and as you exhale, bringing your hand in front of your mouth, and as you exhale, imagine that you're fogging up a mirror, so kind of that like sound. And then feeling the breath hit your hands, so getting a feeling that your hand's the mirror and you're trying to fog up the mirror. So breathing in through the nose and then out. So as you're practicing, maybe you're noticing that it's a breath that sort of comes through the back of the throat. It's got sort of maybe a different texture to a normal breath out. And noticing what that feels as you breathe out. There's a bit of a sound, just what the feelings are like. So taking a few more practice breaths, breathing into the hand, pretending you're fogging up that mirror and seeing how that's feeling in your body. And then if you want to, option to bring the hand away and try practicing it, but breathing in through the nose and then also out through the nose, but getting that same feeling of fogging up the mirror, but with the mouth closed. And it may be that as you're breathing in and out, you can begin to hear a really faint sound in the back of the throat. So still getting that same feeling in the back of the throat, but with the mouth closed. And it might be that the faint sound you hear almost sounds a little bit like the sea, like the ocean. So it's often called the ocean breath, this breath. So maybe thinking about, when you hold the shells to your ears and you got that sound of the ocean, that's kind of the gentle sound that you're hearing, quite subtle, in the back of the throat. So having a little practice, if you want to, with the mouth closed, or you can stay with the mouth open for now if you're sort of still trying to get the hang of it. And you may notice that when you're using this breath that you can breathe deeply into the lower body, into the side of the ribs, into the belly. So having a little play around and seeing what it feels like to draw this breath deep into the body. And maybe as you're inhaling, you can also get that sound in the back of the throat. So it's quite a subtle sound. Sometimes it's practiced with people making a really, really loud noise, but traditionally Ujjayi breath is pretty subtle and fairly quiet. So you'll be able to hear that gentle sound, but not necessarily the person who's practicing 3 or 4 feet away from you in the yoga studio. So having a little play around here, seeing what that breath feels like for you, noticing the texture, and seeing if you can get a sense of that fogging up the mirror feeling, but with the mouth closed. And for me, it helps to have sort of the end of my tongue on the roof of my mouth, behind the front teeth. But that's what helps me to sort of open the throat a little bit more and get that sound when the mouth is closed. But this is a really individual thing. It depends what works for you. So that might feel helpful if you're struggling to get that sound, if you're struggling to get that feeling. So take in another breath here, having a little explore with this breath. And then bringing the eyes to open whenever that feels good. So don't worry if you didn't get the hang of that straight away. You can go back and have another little practice, but hopefully that's helped to bring a little bit of clarity to what the breath is. Sometimes it's just described as a breath in through the nose and out through the nose, but it's more to do with the texture and where the breath's coming from. So that breath through the throat, that ocean sound. So that's what Ujjayi Breath is all about, and that's what warms the body and brings energy. So if you're coming into an energizing class and you're feeling a bit kind of sluggish and you're just feeling like, I really want to do this, but my body's feeling tired or my mind's feeling tired, it's a great breath not only to sort of like focus and center the body, as with all breaths, but also to get it warmed up, get it energized, get it ready for practice. So you can absolutely start using that at the beginning of class, when you're sort of coming into your breath, coming into the room, and at any point where you feel that you need that energy. So I hope that feels really helpful and that it was fun to have a little practice. And I look forward to seeing you for other mini workshops in the future. Have a great day.